Hello everybody, this is your main man Keith here from Keith Plays PS4 927. Happy Thursday morning to all my awesome viewers on this awesome channel. We are in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference semifinals for our Series 1 of NBA 2K Road to the Final Series for our Chicago Bulls team. So we lead the series 1-0 over the number 1 ranked Philadelphia 76ers. So last episode we won in Philadelphia. We're going to be still playing in the Liberty Bell City in the 215 and the 267. So I will have the links from last episode's video in the description if you guys want to check that episode out if you have not already. So without a further ado, we'll show you the uniforms and we'll see you at tip-off. Alright, so the Chicago Bulls are going to be wearing their red icon uniforms on the road at Wells Fargo Center. Meanwhile, for the Philadelphia 76ers, they're going to be wearing their classic away 1976 through 77 Julius Erving era uniforms at home. So, 45th anniversary of making the finals. Unfortunately, they did lose to the Portland Trail Blazers in the 77 finals. So, without further ado, we'll see you at tip-off. Alright, it is tip-off time here in the Liberty Bell City, Independence Hall City of Philadelphia, PA, and it's Tyrese Maxey and the Sixers that have won the tip-off. They're going to pass it off to Joel Embiid. Tyrese Maxey is going to get the assist, will score it in, will get the assist rather. And now let's try a three-pointer from Zach LaVine here. He drills it from behind the arc, so it's now a 3-2 Chicago lead. So now it is James Harden passing it over to Tobias Harris. So Harden is going to pick up the assist there. So now I got some Lonzo Ball and some action right now. Going in the paint, dunking that in for 2. So it is a 5-4 Chicago lead. That was a really nice dunk by Lonzo Ball. So now it is James Harden. He only had 3 threes behind the arc last episode. He only missed 1. So they were 3 for 4, and I'm pretty sure the final score was 94-81 if I remember correctly. And Zach LaVine gets it in there, so it's now 7-6. Joel Embiid, he's going to pass it over to Tyrese Maxey. And Tyrese Maxey, what's he going to do? Pass it over to Joel Embiid, and it looks like Tyrese Maxey's going to get the assist. So I'm going to pass it over to the other side of the court, over to DeMar DeRozan. So DeRozan, he's going to shoot it and go in from behind the arc. So it's now 10-8 here in Philadelphia. So they're going to dribble their way out, making the steal there by DeRozan. So DeRozan's going to go up. He's going to make a backwards dunk. So it's now 12-8 here at the Wells Fargo Center here in Philadelphia, PA, which is about 5.5, maybe 6-hour drive from Hermitage, Pennsylvania. So it's completely on the other side of the state. And as many of you guys know this, Pittsburgh does not have an NBA team. So, not to changing the subject, field goals wise today, both teams are 100%. So it is Tobias Harris getting that in there. And Philly's trying to make a nice comeback, I think, once at it. I mean, they're going to pass it off to DeMar DeRozan. He is going to make another slam. This time, it's an Air Jordan one. So he already has 2 dunks in the paint so far. And it is James Harden acing the court, passing it off to Embiid. So Harden's going to pick up that assist. I'm going to pass it over to DeMar DeRozan, gets that in the paint there, so it's now 18-14. And it's Joel Embiid passing it off to Tyrese Maxey. So Tyrese Maxey, what is he going to do? He's going to dribble the ball, passing it over to Joel Embiid, and gets that in there. So it's now 18-16. So now Nikola Vucevic going to pass it over to Zach LaVine, and then got some Lonzo Ball. I'm going to knock down a 3 for him. The UCLA man gets it from behind the arc, so it's now 21-16. Tyrese Maxey. There's a foul on Lonzo Ball, and we are actually going to take a small break. All right, 26-18, 13.3 seconds ago here in Philly. So we're just going to dribble the ball until the end of the quarter. We'll see you in the second quarter. 26-18 is the score. All right, we got Ayo Dosunmu. We haven't really heard of him all playoffs. So he's a Chicago native, went to college, played college basketball at Illinois, gets that in there for 2. So it's now a 10-point lead for the Chicago Bulls, and it's now James Harden's turn to ace the court. He's going to pass that off to Shake Milton, and Harden is going to get the assist. So he hasn't really scored any points all game. He didn't even score any points in the first quarter, rather. And DeMar DeRozan gets that one in for 2, so it's now 30-20. 11 points for DeMar DeRozan today. Shake Milton with the possession of the basketball. Where is he going to take this to? Will he try to shoot it from 3, or will he pass it to Harden? Will Harden get his first 3 points of the game? Maybe. And the answer is a yes, sirree. He does get his first points of the day here in Philadelphia. So now Tristan Thompson gets that in for 2. Willie Cauley-Stein's going to pass it off to Shake Milton. So now Shake Milton's going to pass it off to James Harden. So now James Harden makes the dunk for the Sixers. And we're going to pass it off to DeMar DeRozan. So DeRozan, he's going to get that in there for 2 points, 34-25 here in Philly. So now Shake Milton with the possession. Where's he going to take the basketball to? Will he take it to Harden? Passing that to Willie Cauley-Stein for a lob pass. Chicago taking the timeout. We're actually going to take a small break. Alright, so it's now 37-32 with 1:40 to go in the first half. Zach LaVine gets this in for 2 points, so it's now 39-32. So both teams are 94% in field goals. Both of them have missed at least one field goal. And Danny Green, who is a member of the 2020 champion Los Angeles Lakers team, knocks that 3 down. And Lonzo Ball knocking it from 3 as well. So it's now 42-35. Now Tyrese Maxey, what is he going to do? Sixers do take a timeout. Alright, it is 42-35. So now James Harden's going to pass it to Joel Embiid. So Harden's going to get that assist. So it's now 42-37. Kobe White has possession of the basketball. So Kobe White with that layup. It was going to be a dunk there, but then 2 defenders thought about stopping that play to be a dunk, but at least he got it in safely for 2 points. So now 46 seconds to go. Embiid, what's he going to do? Knock it from 2 points. So it's now 44-39. We're going to use some LaVine here, and I'm going to use Troy Brown Jr. and then some Derrick Jones Jr. Gonna knock down a 3. 34 seconds to go. 47-39. James Harden's gonna pass that off to Tyrese Maxey. And it is Nikola Vucevic gonna pass it over to Kobe White, and then Derrick Brown Jr. and then Zach LaVine. We are like this close from knocking down a 3. And there is a shooting foul for Philadelphia. Danny Green it was. And he actually misses that. 17 seconds to go. Tobias Harris, what's he going to do? He's going to pass that over to Joel Embiid. Gets that in there for 2. So it's now 50-41. So we're going to pass it over to LaVine. I think we're going to knock down a 3 to end the first half. And we do. So it's now going to be a 12-point lead here for the Chicago Bulls to end the first. Halftime score is Chicago 53, Philadelphia 41. Alright, Joel Embiid had 14 first half points. I'm going to try to make this a little bit brighter so that you guys can see. And I'm going to pass it over to Tristan Thompson. And then good ball movement by Chicago. And we get this in for 2 with DeMar DeRozan. It's now 55-41. James Harden, he is actually going to try to attempt a three-pointer from behind the arc, and he knocks this from downtown, so it's now 55-44 at this point. So now I got Zach LaVine ready to dribble the ball. He's going to pass it over, and then Tristan Thompson getting that in there. So it's now a 13-point Chicago Bulls lead, and the Sixers are still dribbling the basketball, and DeMar DeRozan has made a steal. This is going to be a fast break point here, and we dunk that in, so it's now 59-44 at this point here in Philadelphia. So the Sixers are trailing by 15 at the moment, and now Tyrese Maxey's going to do a nice spin move. Where is he actually going to shoot this from? Is he going to pass it to James Harden? Will he pass it back to Tyrese Maxey, and then passing it over to Embiid, dunking that in, so it's now 59-46. So now it is Zach LaVine's turn, trying to do a nice crossover. Gets that in there. He gets blocked. And it is Embiid who picks it up. James Harden's going to knock down a three. Misses, though. I'm going to pass it over to Zach LaVine. So now Zach LaVine gets it in there. So it's now 61-46. Philadelphia is taking a timeout, so we are actually going to take a short break. All right, it is now 62-61. Philadelphia has taken its first lead of the game. And now let's try to see if Tony Bradley can actually get that in there for two, and he can. So it's now 63-62. Shake Milton has possession of the basketball. And where do you think he's going to pass it to? James Harden, and then he's going to pass it back to Harden, and then Embiid. So it's now going to be a 64-63 lead here for the Sixers. So 26 seconds to go in the third. We're going to try to make a corner three. That does not go out pretty good. And now it is James Harden. What's he going to do? Will he actually pass it to a teammate? And it's an offensive 3-second violation. So Chicago has possession of the basketball. And I think we're just going to do a crossover with Colby White. Gets that in there. So it's now 65-64. The Sixers are the number one seed, so they want to win at least one or two games within the semifinals. They want to win 4 games at least, and that would prevent us from making finals contention. And I'm really excited for our Chicago Bulls making the finals. And then if we make the finals, my prediction is we'll probably face off against the Utah Jazz, kind of like the 97-98 finals, but it will be the 25th anniversary edition of the 97 finals. All right, your State Farm assist of the game is coming right up. So it was that lob pass from James Harden to Willie Cauley-Stein. That was the dunk of the game. So the Sixers have possession of the basketball. So now it is Shake Milton that has possession of the basketball. Where is he going to dribble it to? Or will he just knock it down from 3? He actually knocks it from downtown. So it's now 69-65. Zach LaVine with the possession of the basketball. And we're going to actually try to do a crossover here and make it in the paint. We get this in for 2, so it's now 69-67. Scoring leaders for both teams are Joel Embiid for 20 and Zach LaVine for 17. So they're going to pass it off to the one and only James Harden. Gets that in there. So now I'm going to pass it around, passing it to Javonte Green. So Javonte Green makes the dunk there. I honestly thought when he attempted the dunk, the ball didn't necessarily make it in all the way in the hoop. That you have to have the small square, the ball hit the small square, and then in the hoop. So now James Harden gets that in. So it's now 73-69. Zach LaVine with the possession of the basketball. He's going to do a nice crossover there and gets this one in for 2. So the Sixers are going to take a timeout. All right, the Sixers are up by 5, so the break is over. Zach LaVine with the possession of the basketball. He is going to try to do a crossover. There is a foul on Shake Milton. It's a shooting foul, so this means Chicago is going to the free-throw line once at it, and LaVine gets it in, so it's now 78-76. Tobias Harris passing it off to Tyrese Maxey, so 42 points in the paint for Philadelphia, 10 three-pointers made. And now Joel Embiid has 22 points, 5 from mid-range today. I'm going to actually pass it off to Nikola Vucevic, and then Javonte Green gets it in there. So it's now 80-78. So now Shake Milton has possession of the basketball. Where is he actually going to pass it to, or will he just shoot it? Maybe passing it to Joel Embiid. So Joel Embiid, there's a foul. It's on Nikola Vucevic, so it's a shooting foul. So he gets to go to the free-throw line. And Embiid gets that in, and the Bulls are going to take a timeout. All right, Joel Embiid is your player of the game for the Philadelphia 76ers. And we still have possession of the basketball, so I'm going to do Lonzo Ball. I'm going to try to knock down a three for Lonzo Ball. He actually gets that in there, so it's now 83-81 at this point. Philly is up by 2, and they have pretty good chances of winning today's game. And I will go over statistics after the episode. Tobias Harris, by the way, with 20 points in all. So the more points you score, the better. So it's now 85-83. Chicago has 88% in field goals. Philadelphia with 93%. So they're going to pass it to Embiid. Embiid dunks that in. Tyrese Maxey is going to pick up the assist there. So now we got Lonzo Ball going to get this in for 2. So it's now 87-85. 18 points for Lonzo Ball today, and 7 of which were in this quarter. So they're going to pass it off to James Harden. And James Harden's going to pass that off to Tobias Harris. So it's now 89-85 at this point. So I'm going to pass it to Javonte Green. Going to try to make a 3 from behind the arc. No defenders trying to stop me there. Nobody can stop me, and I get a 3. All right, 34 seconds to go. Now it's 31. Now it's 93-88. And I got some Lonzo Ball and some action. I'm going to pass it off to Zach LaVine, then Kobe White, then Green, and then some DeRozan. Going to try to do a crossover move in there. Gets that in. So it's now 93-90. 20.5 seconds to go. There is a foul on DeMar DeRozan. It's a personal foul. So the Sixers are going to wind up winning this game. So it's now going to be a 95-90 lead. 19.8 seconds left, so I got some Zach LaVine in some action, so I'm going to try to shoot this in from 3, and that is actually a miss, so it's 10 seconds to go. There is a foul. We will actually see you guys in statistics. The Sixers have won Game 2 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, so the series is evenly tied 1-1. And it's 96-92 is the final. All right, Tobias Harris, 27 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 dunks on the day. 4 for 4 from the 3-point behind the arc. Joel Embiid, 27 points, 1 rebound, 4 steals, 4 assists on the day with 3 dunks. James Harden, 17 points, 6 assists on the day. 3 for 4 from behind the arc. He had a dunk as well. Danny Green, 8 points, 1 assist, and 1 dunk. Shake Milton had 7 points in all. So now moving on to Chicago side, Zach LaVine, 22 points, 2 assists on the day. DeMar DeRozan, 21 points, 1 rebound, 2 steals, and 3 dunks on the day. Lonzo Ball, 18 points, 3 assists, and 1 dunk on the day. And Javonte Green had 2 dunks, 11 points, and 1